Hi everyone, welcome to Hibernate tutorial. In this tutorial, we will cover Hibernate lifecycle of POJO class object. So in Hibernate, we create this bean, which is known as POJO class. So we are going to cover the topic lifecycle of this POJO class. So here you can see that, like for example, in our previous example, we have created this employee class, which is my POJO class, and we have persisted this employee class into the database. So here you can see that we have persist this employee class into the database. So this employee class will go to the three stages. One is a transient state, then we have persistent state, then we have detached state. There are three life cycle states of the POJO class or our entity bean class. What are those three? One is transient state, then we have persistent state, and third one is detached state. First part is transient state. So here this transient state is one newly created object with or without having any relation with the database, means never persistent, not associated with any session object. So when we create a new object and it is not associated with any session or with the database, then that particular object is known as transient object. So here in main.xml, when we create the object of this employee, right now this employee is not associated with any session, so this employee is a transient state. The state of this employee is this transient state. So here, and then we have persistent state, having the relation with database or associated with the unique session object. So when we persist this object, it is associated with the session and which has the relation with the database. Now the state is changed from the transient to the persistent state. Now the object will be in persistent state, and once the object is persisted into the database, after that when we close the session, this employee object will become detached. It will be in detached state. So detached state is previously having relation with the database but not associated with the session. So here this employee object previously has relation with the database because we have persisted this employee object into the database. But when we use this employee object after we close the session, this employee object is it in detached state. Now our third stage is detached state, because now the session with which our employee was associated, that was closed now, and our employee is in detached state. So if we again call the session dot save, and here if we pass the employee, then it will throw the error at this stage because it is not associated with the session. So let's run this part. So here you can see that session or entity manager is closed, and it will insert only one record into the database. So it will insert this record into the database. So there are three stages. One is transient state, when the object is newly created and it is not associated with the session. Then we have persistent state, when we persist any object and we have the record in the database. And after that we have detached state, and once it is not associated with any session, then it goes to the detached state. So these are the three main life cycle of the POJO class.